Hello, I am Joann DiGennaro, president of the Center for Excellence in Education, which I founded in 1982 with the late Admiral H.G. Rickover, father of the nuclear-powered submarine and civilian uses of nuclear power. Welcome to our annual Congressional Luncheon. It will be a wonderful event again. However, I guess we'll have to wait till next year to be on Capitol Hill and enjoy the food and camaraderie of each other. It has long been recognized by researchers of education for the most talented STEM students that there is a relationship between mathematics and music. I was thinking about that relationship after a quick review of the masterful book Gödel, Escher, and Bach, An Eternal Golden Braid by Douglas R. Hofstadter. This past 2 years, particularly this past years, reminded me of the beautiful musical, The Sound of Music, and comments by Maria, the young nun who eventually married Captain von Trapp. In the movie, Maria discusses her life when it seemed dark with all the doors closed. And then a window that suddenly opened with sunshine, birds singing, and flowers blooming. Indeed, the world situation and the pandemic seemed to make the future somewhat dark and foreboding for the center. The center and its trustees carefully evaluated the difficult situation and how to best achieve CEE's STEM mission to nurture excellence, leadership, and innovation for young scholars, and to assist teachers to make the gold standard in STEM teaching competencies. The decision was carefully made for CEE to forge ahead with cautious optimism and programming to initiate new partnerships. Let me tell you some of the exciting happenings at CEE this past year. The Research Science Institute will add 10 additional students for this summer's program with MIT, with a renewed emphasis on STEM speakers of color and additional women. This is the first time in RSI history that women outnumber men at the program. Now, it is astonishing because in 1984, at the first program, there were 11 women, all biology, all of Asian ethnicity, and 1 Caucasian. The numbers slowly grew, and we are very proud that after the selections were done, we saw that this time women across the board in subject areas would outnumber men slightly. The teacher enrichment program added its 12th state, Alabama, for rural and urban teachers to improve their STEM teaching skills and learn of opportunities for their students. The inauguration of lyceums in Virginia, and soon to be in all states where there are TEP programs. The kickoff address was made by Secretary of Education in Virginia, Amy Rosted Guerra. Partnerships were merged, and we are so proud to announce partnerships with United Negro College Fund, Urban League of Hampton Roads, and Virginia Bio for the lyceums and TEP programming. And then Bio, the National Consortium of Biotechnology and Pharmaceutical Companies, will honor the 4-member US team at their national meeting this year. All team members medaled at the International Biology Olympiad. Every CEE educational program to come to know that it's managed by a woman or a person of color, and so it wasn't intentional, it just happened, and we're proud. The Development Advancement Team helped CEE reach its highest level of fundraising this past year, and the endowment reached nearly $8.5 million. The center's achievements are only possible because of the active members of the Board of Trustees and longtime Chairman Mel Chaskin, who is sitting here besides me, Mel, and with program alumni and parents, friends, companies, and organizations. Also of import are CEE's 4 congressional trustees who will make comments today, along with our guest trustee, Senator Manchin of West Virginia, where we have vibrant programming in place. And Ogitsa Bajakan Simon, RSI alum and dynamic entrepreneur, will make comment. To moderate the program, I am so pleased that we have Dr. Doug Himberger, a member of CEE's Board of Trustees for nearly 20 years. Doug received his bachelor's degree in physics from Nebraska Wesleyan University, his master's in physics in acoustics from Georgetown University, and his PhD as well in acoustics physics from Georgetown. He has been a consultant to Fortune 500 corporations and was a partner and VP to Booz Allen for many years. We are so proud to have him moderate today's exciting discussion about STEM and the importance of nurturing talented, precocious high school and university students. Doug, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Joann. I am delighted to be part of this event today and to be joined by such distinguished guests. As Joann noted, I've been a trustee of the Center for nearly 2 decades, and of all the organizations I support, the Center, with its focus on science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, is one I most value. As a physicist, concentrating in a number of fields ranging from medical research to defense to community resilience, I have a deep appreciation for the Center's STEM emphasis. and am proud to be a small part of an organization that fosters student success in these fields. We support scholars as they begin their paths to excellence in areas critical not just to our country, but to the entire world. Our future will truly depend on their skills and expertise. It is my privilege to introduce our honorary trustees, all members of Congress. We will hear from Representative Neal Dunn, Senator Jackie Rosen, Senator Todd Young, Representative Scott Peters, and Senator Joe Manchin. I will tell you a bit about each of them before they speak. We will also hear remarks from Dr. Olgitsa Bakayan, a CEE Research Science Institute alum who has had remarkable success in her career, all connected to her STEM background. First, I would like to tell you a bit about Congressman Neal Dunn, one of our honorary trustees. Congressman Dr. Neal Dunn represents the 2nd Congressional District of Florida. He currently serves on the House Energy and Commerce Committee, including the subcommittees on health, oversight, and investigations, as well as consumer protection and commerce. Dr. Dunn grew up in an Army family and was stationed at over 20 locations prior to college. He was an Eagle Scout and a National Merit Scholar before matriculating at Washington and Lee University. After medical school at George Washington, he joined the U.S. Army as a surgeon, completing his residency at Walter Reed Army Medical Center and surgical fellowship at Duke University. He continued his surgical career in many stations around the world before settling in Bay County, Florida in 1990. Dr. Dunn was a surgeon in Panama City for 25 years and was the founding president of the Advanced Urology Institute, a 45 physician practice with over 400 employees. He also founded the Bay Regional Cancer Center and pursued a special interest in advanced prostate cancer. He sat on the Governor's Prostate Cancer Advisory Council and the Florida Blue Physician Advisory Board. Prior to being elected to Congress, Dr. Dunn served on the Board of Governors of the Florida Medical Association and as president of his county medical society, chief of staff of the Gulf Coast Hospital, and director of the Bay Medical Center Sacred Heart Joint Venture. He was recognized as a healthcare hero by the Florida Department of Health for his chairmanship of Bay Cares, a medical charity headquartered in Panama City that provided about $30 million of completely free medical care annually to the working poor in Bay and 8 surrounding counties. Dr. Dunn was also the founding chairman of Summit Bank, a rapidly growing 5-star community bank headquartered in Panama City. He was honored to be named to the board of directors of Space Florida, which operates the space launch complexes and numerous research, assembly, and support facilities on Cape Canaveral. He also served as a director of Enterprise Florida, the state's economic development agency. Congressman Neal Dunn.
Well, thank you very much, Doug, for that very warm introduction. It's an honor to serve as an honorary board member for the Center for Excellence in Education. As a doctor, STEM education holds a special place in my heart, and CEE has done an outstanding job amplifying the nation's vital need for more STEM education. Giving our students a serious exposure to STEM subject matter teaches future generations how to solve problems and make sense of information. Learn critical thinking skills, how to gather and evaluate evidence to make good decisions. And this is truly important as they will be faced with issues that decide not only their futures, but the fate of the world. We've seen how important a strong STEM background is throughout the pandemic. And again now, as the world is dragged headlong into war in Ukraine, we need scientists, engineers, and healthcare professionals right now. And we need more critical thinkers across all disciplines to help us adapt during uncertain times. According to U.S. labor statistics, occupations in STEM fields are projected to add over 10 million jobs by 2029. It's important we meet that demand. I've already had a bill signed into law that instructs the National Science Foundation to develop a veterans outreach plan to connect them with STEM jobs and educational opportunities. The Supporting Veterans in STEM Careers Act ensures that the STEM skills our veterans obtain during their service can be put to good use for decades to come as they successfully transition to civilian life. And I'd like to continue these efforts, not just for veterans, but for all future generations of Americans. Everyone should have access to the resources that can help them pursue STEM education. I now sit on the House Energy and Commerce Committee. This committee has responsibility for matters including energy and environmental policy, interstate and foreign commerce, telecommunications, food and drug safety, healthcare and healthcare research, among other things. All of these rely heavily on creative minds who are well educated. My colleagues from this committee on both sides of the aisle know how critical STEM education is. I'm confident we can get more legislation passed to help our young minds in these fields. With that said, we need your help, your support, and your input to formulate good policy. I encourage you to meet with your members of Congress and your local governments regularly. I'm reminded of something that President Reagan once said when he was asked, "What will the future of America look like with you as president?" His response was, "I'm not in control of the future of America. I'm just the president. The future of America will be decided by the people you elect to your local school boards." Those were prescient words. Working together, we can meet our STEM needs. I want to thank you for your dedication to future generations. Your role in encouraging young minds is more important than ever. Thank you very much. Doug, I yield back.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dunn, for your comments. I'd like to now introduce Senator Jackie Rosen. Senator Rosen is a U.S. Senator representing the state of Nevada. Senator Rosen previously served in the U.S. House of Representatives during the 115th Congress, where she was rated one of the most bipartisan freshman members and was a member of the Problem Solvers Caucus. Senator Rosen serves on the Senate Committee on Armed Services, Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation, Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee, Special Aid Committee on Aging, and the Senate Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship. In her first year in the Senate, she launched the Bipartisan Comprehensive Care Caucus. Senator Rosen has been a champion for encouraging early childhood education in STEM, especially for young girls. Prior to running for elected office, Senator Rosen started her career as a computer programmer and a software developer. She is also the former president of Congregation Ner Tamid, the state's largest synagogue. Senator Rosen and her husband, Larry, have one daughter, Miranda. Senator Rosen received her undergraduate bachelor's degree from the University of Minnesota, Minneapolis in 1979. She also received an associate's degree in computing and information technology from Clark County Community College, what is now the College of Southern Nevada. Senator Jackie Rosen.
Hi, I'm Jackie Rosen, and I'm proud to represent the great state of Nevada in the United States Senate. I'd like to start by thanking the Center for Excellence in Education for supporting students and helping them realize and reach their full potential. Across the country, we're seeing a huge demand for workers in STEM fields, with software developers, mathematicians, and health aides among the fastest growing occupations. This growth is why the work that CEE does in STEM is so critically important. By fostering the development of young scholars across the country, CEE is creating the next generation of American scientists, engineers, inventors, and leaders. I'm proud to say that several Nevadans have been recognized by CEE over the past few years, and I'm grateful to serve as an honorary board member. Promoting opportunities in STEM education is a cause that's deeply personal to me. Before coming to Congress, I built my career as a computer programmer, and I am the first and only computer programmer ever to serve in the United States Senate. I know what it's like to be in the STEM field and how important it is to increase representation in STEM and expand access so all students have access to STEM education. That's why I introduced the Building Blocks of STEM Act, which was signed into law in 2020. This bipartisan bill expands STEM education initiatives at the National Science Foundation for Young Children and helps encourage increased participation of girls in computer science. I also helped launch the Women in STEM Caucus, which is a group of bipartisan senators that are working to increase women's participation in science, technology, engineering, and math education and careers. The caucus also provides a forum for discussion and legislative collaboration about how to expand access to STEM education for women and increase women's participation in STEM-related fields. If we're going to lead the world in creating an economy of the future, then we must break through the barriers that are holding us back from reaching our full potential. Thank you again for supporting our future generation of STEM leaders. Enjoy the event.
I'd like to now introduce Senator Todd Young. Todd Young is a U.S. Senator representing the state of Indiana. He currently serves on the U.S. Senate Committees on Finance, Foreign Relations, Commerce, Science and Transportation, and Small Business and Entrepreneurship. Previously in the House, he served on the House Armed Services Committee, the House Budget Committee, and most recently the House Ways and Means Committee. A fifth-generation Hoosier, Senator Young followed his core values of hard work and personal responsibility to the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, where he participated in varsity athletics and was elected a class officer. After training as a rifle platoon commander and service as an intelligence officer, Senator Young was then assigned to lead a recruiting effort in Chicago and Northwest Indiana. During this time, he put himself through night school at the University of Chicago, where he earned his MBA with a concentration in economics. After serving a decade in the military, in 2000, Senator Young was honorably discharged as a captain. He then spent a year in England, where he wrote a thesis on the economic history of Midwestern agriculture and earned an MA from the School of Advanced Study in London. Upon returning to the United States, he accepted a position at the Heritage Foundation and later worked as a legislative assistant in the U.S. Senate. In 2003, Senator Young returned home to Indiana, where he worked several years as a management consultant. Soon after returning to Indiana, Todd met his future wife, Jenny, and he again put himself through night school, this time earning his JD from Indiana University. They married in 2005 and then worked together at a small law firm in Paoli, Indiana, which was started by Jenny's great-grandfather in 1933. Todd and Jenny currently reside in Johnson County, Indiana, and have 4 young children, a son, Tucker, and 3 daughters, Annalise, Abigail, and Ava. Senator Todd Young.
Hello, I'm Senator Todd Young. Thank you for inviting me to speak at today's annual Center for Excellence in Education Congressional Luncheon. Everyone in this room knows that STEM education is vital for our students and the future of our nation. I appreciate the major role your organization plays to develop secondary STEM talent. It should come as no surprise that early college programs help families avoid college debt while preparing students for post-secondary education. In my home state of Indiana, we've seen great success from programs like these, and their value will only be amplified as we continue to rebuild from the pandemic. I've worked hard to make sure STEM education and training is a priority in the Senate. Last year, I reintroduced the bipartisan Fast Track to and Through College Act to expand access to college-level STEM classes for high school students. My bill aims to provide resources so states can create a fast-track pathway for students. This includes access to advanced coursework, dual credits, and professional support. If we look at the big picture, expanding STEM opportunities will help in our collective push to stay competitive and lead in innovation as a country. Investing in our students is investing in our nation. STEM education is a win-win for all Americans. Again, thank you for inviting me to share a few words today, and thank you for your work to foster these programs. Enjoy your luncheon.
Thanks for your remarks, especially on investing in innovation. I'd like to now introduce Representative Scott Peters. Congressman Scott Peters serves California's 52nd Congressional District, which includes the cities of Coronado, Poway, and most of northern San Diego. First elected in 2012, he currently serves on the House Budget Committee and the House Energy and Commerce Committee, as well as the Joint Economic Committee. Congressman Peters is a civic leader who has made improving the quality of life in San Diego his life's work. As a member of Congress, Scott's emphasis has been on promoting and expanding San Diego's innovation ecosystem, advocating for San Diego's pivotal role as a partner in the national defense, and making government work again. Ranked the 4th most independent Democrat in Congress by the National Journal, Congressman Peters understands that business problems have bipartisan solutions and is never afraid to work across party lines to build consensus and get things done. Congressman Scott Peters.
Hi, my name is Scott Peters, and I represent California's 52nd District in Congress, which includes San Diego, Coronado, and Poway. I'm honored to join you today at the 2022 Center for Excellence in Education's Congressional Luncheon to talk about the importance of STEM education and training for our 21st century workforce. My district is a national hub for STEM and the life sciences industries. Given the opportunity to pursue his research anywhere in the world, Dr. Craig Venter, who led the first sequencing of the human genome, established his research institute in San Diego in conjunction with the University of California, San Diego. In addition to the Venter Institute and UCSD, we're also home to the Scripps Research Institute, Sanford Burnham Prebys Cancer, and the Salk Institute. And it's San Diego's leadership in science and innovation that has led me to focus so much of my time and energy on those issues here in Washington, D.C. Those industries will propel our economic growth in the 21st century. We need also to reduce barriers to success for our innovators so that they can continue to thrive and create good jobs. And while supporting job creation is important, it's important that we create those jobs here in the United States. So we need to ensure that we have a well-educated workforce with the skills necessary to work those jobs of the future. Companies value candidates with technical skills like programming and data analytics, which need to be cultivated at early ages, and that's why STEM education is so important. We're in a global race for talent, and our success depends on educating and attracting talented individuals to start their ventures, make their discoveries, and manufacture their products here in America. We need to expand computer science and coding offerings in secondary schools, encourage private-public partnerships to enhance STEM learning opportunities, inspire innovation by incorporating design into STEM programs, and we need to increase access to academic and professional opportunities in STEM for underserved communities. And while the gender gap in STEM is very slowly narrowing, women only make up just over a quarter of the sector's workforce. We also know that women are still less likely to focus on STEM in both their undergraduate and graduate studies. Through my work with the bipartisan Congressional STEM Education Caucus, I've supported legislation like the STEM Opportunities Act, which passed the House last year. That bill provides for research and grant funding to support women and underserved students in accessing STEM education. And while we work to expand STEM education at the federal level, CEE's programs are already meeting needs on the ground. Your annual USA Biology Olympiad brings over 10,000 young scholars and scientists together for the nation's most prestigious biology competition. And annually, the Biology Olympiad helps to identify gifted youth, develop students' interest in life sciences, and build networks of life science scholars. Though UCSD has hosted the Biology Olympiad for several years, San Diego is not the only region benefiting from your programming. Improving STEM education, access, and quality also benefits students in classrooms all over the country. High-quality secondary education in science and math is vital to developing a strong STEM cohort for higher education. However, according to the National Science Foundation, student access to well-qualified teachers in these subjects varies dramatically. CEE's Teacher Enrichment Program has been working to solve this problem by connecting secondary school STEM educators with professional development resources and leading voices in the industry. And to date, this effort has helped introduce more than 680,000 underrepresented students to careers in STEM. Developing these students in the classroom is critical. CEE's programming also seeks to connect interested students with professional experiences for training outside academia. The Center's Research Science Institute plays an important role in providing these opportunities. Every year, the Institute convenes some of our country's best and brightest high school students at MIT for a practicum in STEM research. And during the Research Science Institute, students learn from subject matter experts and experience the research cycle firsthand from inception to conclusion. It's important that these activities are cost-free for students, which ensures that promising young minds are not turned away because of socioeconomic factors that lie outside their control. As our workforce changes to meet the needs of the 21st century economy, we have to ensure that students from all communities are prepared by increasing widespread access to high-quality STEM education. The Center for Excellence in Education is bridging this gap for underrepresented students right now through its Biology Olympiad, Teacher Enrichment Program, and Research Science Institute. Thanks for your work. You're expanding access to STEM education across the United States, and thank you for the invitation to speak to you today. Good luck.
Thank you for your insights, Congressman Peters. Having family in your district, I feel especially connected to your message. I'd like to now introduce Senator Joe Manchin. Senator Joe Manchin represents West Virginia and was sworn into the United States Senate on November 15th, 2010, to fill the seat left vacant by the late Senator Robert Byrd. Senator Manchin currently serves as the chairman of the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee and also serves on the Senate Committee on Appropriations, the Senate Committee on Armed Services, and the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs. Born and raised in the small coal mining town of Farmington, West Virginia, Senator Manchin grew up learning the values that all West Virginians have: family, common sense, fairness, and hard work. As a senator, Joe Manchin is committed to bringing the spirit of bipartisanship to Washington. As he has done throughout his entire life, he remains committed to working with the Republicans and Democrats to find common sense solutions to the problems our country faces. And he's working hard to usher in a new bipartisan spirit in the Senate and in Congress. Legislatively, job creation is Senator Manchin's top priority, and he believes that government should act as a partner, not an adversary, in helping to create the environment that produces good American jobs. Senator Manchin also firmly believes that our nation can and must do what he did in West Virginia, put our fiscal house in order. Senator Manchin is strongly committed to developing a balanced national energy plan that utilizes all of our resources and recognizes that fossil fuels will be vital as part of our energy mix for decades to come. He believes that a balanced, common sense approach that considers the needs of our environment and the demands of our economy can and must be developed if we are to achieve energy independence within this generation. Senator Joe Manchin.
Hello, I'm United States Senator Joe Manchin. I'm sorry that I'm unable to join you all in person for your Center for Excellence in Education Congressional Luncheon on the importance of STEM education for the future of our nation and our economy. The world we live in today is different from the one I grew up in. Technology has transformed how we communicate, do business, and live our lives. And our students face incredible pressures that previous generations never faced: social media, drugs, and incivility in government. And while we live in troubled times in a troubled world, in all of the briefings I've ever had, I've never heard that our country has a problem with people wanting to leave. Our country is still the beacon of freedom for the world, no matter how bad it seems on the news. To keep our nation moving forward, we need students dedicated to STEM education to put us on the map for the next decade of innovation and economic leadership. And I'm so thankful for the efforts of the Center for Excellence in Education to prioritize STEM education for our future generations. I've always believed that every American in West Virginia should have access to a quality education, no matter their background, and together we can help students find their passion and compete for good-paying jobs across the nation. We've seen the importance of STEM educated Americans in our fight to bring supply chains back to America. Being reliant on foreign supply chains controlled by countries like Russia and China has never served us well. Just look at how we fared at the beginning of the pandemic with medical equipment. We're going to find ourselves in the same boat if we allow ourselves to keep going the way we're going right now on EVs, the various clean energy technologies, without building out supply chains here at home and establishing agreements with reliable, friendly countries for what we can't find domestically. We put a lot of money into the bipartisan infrastructure bill to build out this entire supply chain, and I continue to push for my 48C energy manufacturing tax credit to get over the finish line. As we prioritize our domestic supply chains, STEM students are essential to ramping up production here at home. Without their expertise, America simply can't and won't compete. Everyone here today has worked to support students engaged in STEM and in turn, our entire economy. Your efforts are truly vital, and I cannot wait to see what the next generation of STEM students accomplish with your help. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless the great state of West Virginia.
Thank you, Senator Manchin. The senator and I met while he was the governor of West Virginia, and I worked with both the senator and his wife in other community resilience activities. I've felt connected to him ever since then. I'd like to now introduce Olgica Bakayan. She has served as the CEO of Peripheral since co-founding the company in 2009. Peripheral's membrane technology helps customers reduce greenhouse gas emissions, reuse water, and save on transportation. Beer, coffee, and juice can be concentrated without loss of aroma, flavors, or nutritional value. Removing the water using Peripheral's membranes also creates new, unique foods and beverages. Olgica has led the company since its earliest R&D stages, up through its current international commercial sales to global Fortune 500 brands. Olgica has secured several multi-million-dollar grants across multiple state and federal programs, and has directed a $9 million DARPA-funded project and an ARPA-E CEC jointly funded project, coordinating multiple national laboratories and universities. Dr. Bakayan has received her bachelor's in physics and chemistry from the University of Chicago, her doctorate in physics from Princeton University. She came to RSI as a representative of former Yugoslavia in 1991. Dr. Olgica Bakayan.
All right, thank you, Doug. I am really honored to be part of this wonderful event. I was at RSI for Research Science Institute for 6 weeks in 1991. And here I am now, more than 30 years later, talking about it. So what makes RSI so special, and what did it mean for my career in STEM? So guess what, for most things in life, as I was thinking about this, I realized that for most things in life, the preview, the highlight, the headline is what you get. The rest is the filler. And RSI is exactly the opposite. It's advertised as an amazing summer program, and it is that, but you get so much more than what the preview promised. So for me, by coming to RSI, I got to learn about the US and I got to see Washington, DC, and that was great. But the CEE staff and community also helped me apply to world-class universities, advance my career, and make a life here. At RSI, I got an opportunity to do research with a world-class researcher, Dr. Joann P, who was at the University of Maryland at the time, later at Los Alamos. He was my research mentor. But his family also became my second family in the US. At RSI, I got the chance to spend time with like-minded peers. And that's what you expect. But through the 6 weeks program, I also met lifelong friends, and I even met my husband through that. After RSI, I became part of the amazing alumni network, which is not only a good resource, but it's really much more than my University of Chicago or Princeton alumni network. The RSI alums are a tighter group, smaller group. The people are amazing, and they're always ready to help, connect and help. So I came to RSI as a representative of former Yugoslavia in the summer of 1991. I went home really excited. I learned that I could potentially get into colleges in the US, and I was determined to work super hard and get to go to college here. RSI staff, RSI friends, my mentor, everybody guided me through the application process. And then once I got to some acceptances, they helped me pick University of Chicago. I had never been to the US before. I really did not know a lot, but this community helped me tremendously. And back in my home country in Yugoslavia, at that time, things were not so good. I mean, it was spring of 1992. And some of you might remember there was a civil war that we went through there. So I got into college, and I was hoping to get out to the US as soon as I could. So I talked to my RSI mentor, and he said, just come back to do research with me in my group. And that was a great opportunity. But he went one step beyond. He also offered the hospitality of his family and invited me to stay in his home for the summer, so I could come before my starting college. Amazing, right? And that was also the summer when at the 4th of July party at Mrs. D's, I met Rich, another Recoid, who was at the program a few years earlier. And he's now the person I have been married for more than 20 years and with whom I have 2 wonderful kids. So I went off to college, graduated, then spent 4 years at Princeton, where I got my PhD in physics. After that, I was on the science track, and I got recruited to by Lawrence Livermore Lab to become a Lawrence Fellow. So I moved to California. I built a research career in nanoscience and biophysics there. And then about 13 years ago, I made a big change and started a business, Peripheral. So for me, the scientific papers, in citations are interesting, but what really excites me the most is using the science to do what could not be done before. So at Peripheral, we invented and are commercializing new technology that's changing industries across the board and enabling companies to greatly reduce their transportation costs and environmental footprint. So when you buy fresh beer and juice today, most likely it has traveled long distances from the orchard or from the brewery. And since all the drinks are mostly water, that means that for you to enjoy your drink, a lot of water got shipped maybe from as far away as Brazil. Our technology enables our customers to concentrate the beer, the juice, or the coffee without changing flavors, aromas, or nutritional value. And in Canada right now, you can actually drink several well-known brands of draft beer from 6X concentrate. It tastes as good, if not better, than the usual fresh draft, but the transportation costs and associated greenhouse gas emissions are reduced 6-fold. These are big changes from the industry. Our customers, large companies say so, and they're developing it, they're putting it in the market. These big changes take a long time, but they're coming, and they're being driven by some of the world's largest beverage companies. So I think I can safely say that I would not be where I am at with my career and with my life today if I hadn't come to RSI. RSI was one of the most formative events of my life, and I'm committed to supporting CEE and grateful to everybody who does. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Olgica, especially for your stories. Your experiences are so meaningful to us. I want to thank all our guests today. They reminded me of why CEE has the impact it enjoys and why we expect great things in the future for the center and its scholars. I'd like to turn it over now to Joann.
Thank you to all our participants. Today was very special. It is not often that an organization has the opportunity to have congressional members speak on their behalf, thank the center, and then talk about STEM education and what it means for what they're doing for the citizens of this country. Also, you got to hear from Olgica, one of the superstars of alumni of the center's Research Science Institute. I can tell you firsthand how difficult it was with Olgica in Yugoslavia. As she mentioned, things were pretty tough there. And to seek entrance to a university, a stellar university, with financial assistance. Olgica showed us just what grit will do, because over and over we wrote to universities, getting her information that she could not obtain from home. And we are so proud to have her married to another outstanding Recoid, Rich, and to see their family and their careers prosper. Our accomplishments are only because of you, participants in our programs, donors to us, volunteers to our programs, our alumni, our friends, and of course, our board of trustees and members like Doug, we take pride in having him and give gratitude for his service. As all of you know, we are the only organization in the United States that provides a research science institute, a USA Biology Olympiad, a teacher enrichment program, and the lyceums, cost-free to all participants, which means we never stop our fundraising. And believe me, every dollar is so important to us and we appreciate it. Go on our website, review our website, which has just been redone and is managed by an RSI alum, James, who is a master at showing the public what we do. And he does the reunions online of our students. It is a day that we can be proud of the right things being done in education and the success of programs that are based on merit, excellence, innovation. We will continue to have that mission in our forefront. It has been since Admiral Rickover and I started this organization. And thank you for your support of our mission. Have a wonderful week. Join us in our programs, check our website, and get involved with us. Thank you.